Okay, next up, what I want to show you is a bunch of awesome meta tags that we can add to our head here. So again, just a few more things that are not visible, and then we're going to get straight into the fun, I promise. So here, what we can do is add some SEO that's going to improve our search engine optimization. All right, so our website is going to be more easy to find. So we added one, which is the title here. And actually, you can make this longer like this. DevEd Professional Cooking Boy. I just added this for fun. And as you can see, it updated right there. You can also view this on a bunch of websites. If you search like YouTube here, you're going to notice that the title, well, they just have YouTube. But okay, let's search another one, Amazon. As you can see, Amazon online shopping for electronics apparel. So it has a pretty long title. Okay, so let's add another one. The other one we're going to add is called Meta, and hit tab. But as you can see, this one is actually doesn't have this closing tag like H1 or like title. It's just like Meta. And that's it. So you're gonna find some tags that do close, some that don't close, and I don't really want you to beat your head over and like sweat and invest a lot of time in remembering which tags close and which tags don't. So what I recommend you to do is just hit tab, just write H1 tab, and VS Code is automatically going to know what to do. So this way, you're going to write them and you don't have to worry about it. And if you keep writing more HTML, you are going to remember it because you keep using them a lot. So it's going to go into your memory. So don't really sweat about which tags close, which tags don't. Just hit tab and let the autocomplete do it for you. And then yeah, you're just gonna remember it easier this way. So Meta, another thing I want to introduce you is if we come here after right inside this tag here and just add a space, we can add something called an attribute. And all an attribute is, it just basically changes the behavior of the meta tag that you are on. And you're gonna see this being used a ton, especially here when we're in the body and we're gonna add inputs and we're gonna add a bunch of other things. We're gonna add a bunch of attributes in here that's gonna change the behavior or maybe just give a name to our tags. So let me show you what I mean. In the meta, we're gonna add an attribute called name. And we're gonna set this equal to description. So this is a meta that's gonna handle the description on our page. So if I'll go back to the Amazon, if I still have it open, let me go amazon.com and pull it up here on the screen. So as you can see, it has a description down here. So that's gonna be our meta tag. And here we can add another attribute called content. All right, and here, if we hit enter, it's, as you can see, auto completes it for us just like it did before here. We just set it equal and we just add 2 quotes, okay? And here we can say DevEd is a professional cook with Italian dish expert. I don't know, I'm really bad at adding these. But if you do a portfolio or something, you're probably going to mention a lot of keywords here like front-end web developer, HTML and CSS, and things of that sort. Okay, but a title is still going to be way more important than this description meta tag. But it's very good to add this as well. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is going to be a bit weird, but I'm going to write it down here for you. You're going to say meta, and the attribute is going to be called character set. Okay, and we're going to set this equal to UTF-8. This is something, again, I don't really want you to worry about that much, but it's pretty much an encoding. It's an encoding that our browser can understand. So basically all the words like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and these symbols, like $, and these symbols, is basically you're telling the browser what kind of character set to use and encoding to use. You can kind of hover over this car set and you can and you can see kind of more of the meaning. It's not that clear. The attribute declares the page characters encoding and must contain standard YAML name for, yeah, it's a bit weird, but all it basically is just an encoding that recognizes the characters that we generally use here, especially in Europe or US, right? It's not Chinese characters or any other things like of that sort. Okay, so again, this is just something we add. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but it's good to have it here. Okay, so that's another one. Let's do another one. We're gonna say meta again. All right, we're gonna come here, and this one is gonna be called robots. Now it's not as cool as it sounds, unfortunately. But what the robots meta tag does, it basically provides instructions to the web crawlers whether to index your web page or not. So it has an easier time finding your web page, or you can declare it for it to not be visible if you don't want it to. So the way we can add this is we can go meta here, and we can say, let's say name, just like we did with the description, and set this equal to robots. And then the content here is basically going to be, I mean, you can do two things here. You can say index and follow, or optionally you can say no index and no follow, but I wouldn't recommend that anyways. So basically what follow does, basically the search engine crawler will follow all the links in that web page. Okay, and the index is the crawler will index your whole web page. Okay, so you add this and it just helps out the crawlers. It's gonna find your web page easier, and you're probably gonna appear on Google faster. Okay, so that's another one. I kind of want to change this little logo here because I don't really like it. This is just the default that it gave to us, but I don't like the globe. I don't want to be Mr. Worldwide. I want to have my own. How can I change that? Well, what we can do is we can go to Google again, our dear friend, and we can search for some icons. So what we can do is we can say .ico files here. And I don't remember the name, icons-icons. This was the website. They kind of provide you some simple icons here. Let's just use one just for fun. Let's go to this one. And I don't know, which one do you like? I like the little house. I want to get the house. So let's go on the house, and we're going to download this ICO file. Okay, so hit on that. It should download for you. And after it does, we're just going to drag it in here, drop it in here. And now what we're going to do is right here, we're going to say link this time, not meta anymore. And as you can see, the link element allows you, we're not going to hit tab here. And I'll tell you why. If we hit tab, it's automatically going to generate us this rel style sheet href thing. Now, it does this because it's very commonly used to link our style sheet. So this link thing, you basically use to connect your CSS to your HTML, or to connect different things to your HTML. However, I don't want to do the CSS right now, but this is kind of similar to the way you attach a logo. So all we do is we have this attribute rel here. I'm actually not going to delete it. And as you can see, it's just the attribute's name, a relationship of the linked document to the current document. The attribute must be space, separate links. Okay, so I think they even have a link type here. So let's open up. Let's actually see what they show us. Okay, we have author, bookmark. There's a bunch of here, but look, there's one called icon. So we can replace that with icon, because that's what we have. And href is basically gonna be the URL, or the location of our icon. And the way we can find that is we can just add a slash, and that's automatically gonna pull up the whole file structure that we have in the left, and we can just click on it and hit Control Save, and take a look, we have our little house. Yay! Thank you so much. That's so cool. It's so cozy already. And our HTML is empty, but hey, it's a good step. There's one last one I want to introduce you, which can be a bit kind of weird, but it's very, very helpful. So we're going to say meta, All right, we're gonna click on it, and then we're gonna say name, and this is gonna be viewport, okay? And the content is gonna be equal, just follow along with me here a bit, it's gonna be weird. We're gonna say width equal to device width. And then we're gonna add a comma, and we're gonna say initial, let me make sure initial dash scale is gonna be equal to 1. All right, let me make more space here so you guys can see. Okay, here we go. So initial scale 1. Okay, so this kind of looks weird, but all it does is, well, like 10 years ago, websites weren't really made for mobile. It was all desktop. So what this helped with is it basically scaled the website all the way up till it filled the whole screen for maybe a smartphone or something. So as you can see, you can kind of read it. Width equals device width. So the width of the website should be the width of the device. And the scale should be basically so you can see the whole content. So it should be scaled like 1 and not zoomed in like this or zoomed out like this. It should be fit perfectly. And I actually want to show you a quick example here. And I quickly want to show you this example right here on V3 Schools, which is a really good resource. As you can see, without the viewport meta tag, this is how our content looks on a mobile screen. However, if we add the viewport meta tag, it makes it more responsive. It takes advantage of the full space of the device, of the width of the device. So that's it. We just usually add this as well without actually worrying about it. And there we go. We have a proper structure of our website. Now you're gonna be mad at me because I'm gonna show you a cool new trick to set this up from scratch super fast. So I'm gonna delete everything here. I'm just gonna cut it out and take a look right here. If I hold Shift and press 1, we're gonna add an exclamation point. I'm gonna hit Tab and take a look. That's automatically gonna generate us this whole structure. There we go. Look how quickly we can do this. Just Shift Tab and boom, we have our boilerplate generated. Now it doesn't actually add those other meta tags like the ones that we had here, like the robots and the icon and the description here. But I kind of wanted to show you the two ways we can do it. You can add it after if you want, but I'm gonna stay with our original one that we have.